Okay. So it looks like that we are live, hopefully. We'll just wait a few seconds to see how it goes. Alright. Wait. Just a Q&A section. Oh boy. See, this is clearly, I am so new to all of this, I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, is that how you do it? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. So that's how I can view it. Okay, perfect. Okay, well, clearly I'm new to this whole live stream thing, so it's like whatever. But hey, that works. I see that there's like this goal button too, and I know absolutely nothing about that. Let's see. I guess we'll try that. I have no idea. I don't know what that does, but I mean, I'll experiment with that. Clearly, I'm new to this whole live stream super chat or whatever the heck you want to call it. but yeah, anyway. But if you can, whoever's watching, let me know how I sound, so that way I know if the sound's good. And I apologize already ahead of time for the webcam, because this is literally the only webcam I got. The last live stream I did, I literally used my Mac laptop, and I want to say that the connection on that was a bit poor, because it was like working like crazy, because you would hear the fans going and all that. And you know, obviously, you know, it took me a little bit to adjust the settings on my own mic to match the thing of the sound of the game, because the sound of the game used to be quieter as opposed to my mic. And I did buy a new microphone, so it'll be coming hopefully this week, a more professional YouTuber microphone rather than the stupid Konami karaoke microphone that I got here. So we'll just go from there. But yeah, I figured, you know, why not do another live stream of the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner video game in honor of Coyote versus Acme, right? So, yeah, let's wait just a little bit more for there to be someone in there in the chat or whoever's viewing. I'm not gonna lie, I did play this game a little bit already yesterday, or no, maybe it was the day before. I don't know. It was one of the days, but no, I think it was last night. But it's pretty fun. It's definitely way more fun than Death Valley Rally on SNES for sure. I mean, that game was just bad, man. I mean, it was bad. Nothing else to say about it, you know. But if for some reason, you know, you know, and they're not wrong, but you know, any of the people that said that, like, you know, you can beat in like, I don't know, an hour or more, they're not wrong on that. But in case something like that happens, where it's like, you know, I still got some Steam going, or I'm running low on Steam, I'll just play Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout on it on NES just because I can. You know, nothing too crazy, I guess. You know, I was trying to think of like what else I could think of. It was just like, well, I could do maybe, you know, Crazy Castle maybe, but I honestly don't really. Well, I could play like Back in Action maybe, but in all honesty, I don't know. And this is just another little live stream experiment, but hopefully sometime soon I'll get a better webcam that has like a light and 4K quality. I have my eyes on one thing on Amazon already, but it's like I want to get that, like a new webcam. I need to get a second monitor, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't have room for a second monitor. So like I've been trying to eyeball like getting like a small miniature monitor that's like, you know, just a little, like probably like around this size, you know, roughly, just like something that's small and tiny, minuscule. It's just so I can, you know, have just a small little second screen if I need to. But I may not need that if I can just use my laptop to look at the live stream chat and all that. So, you know, shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? I don't know. But anyway, I did want to give a quick shout out to the person who actually showed, told me about this game for my previous live stream. When I posted an announcement for my first live stream of Death Valley Rally, there was Flying Duck Man 360. I want to give a shout out to that guy. He said, "I'm a Sega gamer, so I personally prefer Desert Demolition on the Genesis, partially because it has the option of playing as either the Roadrunner or Wile E. Coyote. Yes, I have played Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally, and it is a lot more difficult than Desert Demolition. the only way I can get through Death Valley Rally is with a 75 lives code, which I was completely unaware of. A sequel to Death Valley Rally called Wily's Revenge, where Wile E. Coyote was the playable character and his goal is to catch the Roadrunner, was planned, but it was canceled when Sunsoft closed their North American offices in 1995 due to bankruptcy. So, there's that. Thank you very much, Flying Duckman 360, to not only telling me about this really cool game, but also giving us that little bit of information. So I really appreciate that. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and get into the game already. So, yeah, it's definitely no secret that you can play as both the Roadrunner or the Wile E. Coyote. We'll start with the Roadrunner first, just because he's fast and all that. But I can definitely say, when playing this particular game, the controls are so much better than Death Valley Rally, because the controls were almost impossible when controlling the Roadrunner. But in this game, it's a lot easier. Now my main objective in this game is to try and achieve to getting as many stamps as I can, because the manual says that you need to collect about 125 Acme stamps in order to get to the bonus levels, and I really want to get to the bonus levels. When I test played this last night, I was only able to get to one, and that one had Sylvester and Tweety in there. It was a little cameo thing or whatever. So I really want to try my best, but again, it's with the limited amount of time I got, it's not exactly the easiest. It's easier said than done. It's a lot easier to well, it's a lot easier to die in this game, but it's easier to what am I trying to say? It's easier to get these power boosts, speed boosts and all that stuff, rather than all that. You know what I mean? Anyway, yes, we got about 18 seconds or something like that. Oh, almost. Okay, just get all the stamps, But yeah, basically, the manual says, collect about 125 stamps or more, just to get to the bonus stages. So I don't want to go through the game like I did before when I would test play this, and I want to try to see if there's maybe a second. I don't think there is. I don't think there is a second ending or an alternate ending if you win all the bonus stages. I really don't know what would be. Oh, okay. Well, I died already. That's fun. I just can't imagine Roadrunner just blowing up. I mean, technically he doesn't. I mean, he gets hit by them sort of, but the way even if Wile E. Coyote's ever near him, he just vanishes. He just zips on by. Like a fast, the fast, speedy menace he is. So that's about it. But this game is really chaotic. It feels like it's all over the place. You know what I mean? I did want to show this because this is how Sonic the Hedgehog, is, and that's definitely what Death Valley Rally should have been more like. Because this is definitely a Sonic type thing, and this was a Sega game too. So yeah, but yeah, any of the controls in this game are so much better than in Death Valley Rally. 100%. Nothing else I can say about that. All right. Oh, okay, here's the bonus stage. Oh, excellent. Okay, there's Elmer Fudd and there's Daphne. Deck thieving. Oh, what? Well, I know I had to get up there, right? Oh, that's... Okay, well, that's kind of sucky. Well, I guess I'll have to figure that out some other time, maybe. I don't know. Because I was supposed... I'm pretty sure I was supposed to get up there. But it just didn't want to... No, it just didn't want me to do that, I guess. I have no idea. But yeah, the jumping controls in this game are far superior than Death Valley Rally. Because, you just stop on a dime, and there you go. Look at all these stamps you get from injuring Riley. It's so funny. I can definitely say like the reason why this game is like really perfect is that it is very what do I want to say, accurate or very well done from the source material. So it works very well for what it achieves. So it's that's probably like one of the main reasons why this game is like probably my new top. I guess you could say top 5 or whatever. Because like this is a pretty good game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, but in all honesty, I kind of wish I had this as a kid, really, because like I missed out on like a completely different alternate childhood. When you play a different game, because like all I had was Clay Fighter and the Tick, and Virtual Bart from The Simpsons, and Krusty Super Fun House, and all that. I missed out on like so many other like different games, and like I didn't exactly grow up with the internet when I was younger, and I didn't have access to any of the other games at the time, like an original PlayStation or even a PS2 for that matter. I didn't get a PS5 until like or PS5, a PS4. I still don't have a PS5, but I didn't get a PS4 until I was in college. I decided to finally buy myself a PS4 because I missed out on it, and then like it kind of already died out its popularity when the announcement for the PS5 came out. But I had an original Xbox and even a 360 and a Wii, but I feel like I always missed out on like all those other games that everybody like talked about, like oh, Spyro and Crash Bandicoot on the original PlayStation, and all this other different stuff. I remember going to one kid's house every now and then. Whenever my dad had to go to work, and he didn't want to leave me home alone at the house or something like that. He would just have me hang out at this one kid's house, just to hang out or whatever. I guess that was another way that my dad wanted me to socialize. 'Cause not too much of a social butterfly as a kid. I technically still am not, but like it depends on like the people that I'm with. You know what I mean? But anyway, I got to go to his place, and he had a I'm pretty sure it was a PlayStation 2, and he had a good variety of different games because he had like I want to say he had Aliens in the Attic. I could be wrong, but I want to say either it was that or a Wii game. I can't remember, but I'm sure that was a Wii. But it was that, Over the Hedge, and Jimmy Neutron, and of course of how I never got to play I forgot to check the stamps. I forgot. That's okay. But I didn't get really too much of a chance to play the games he had, which is fine because it was a PlayStation 2, and when you're on an Xbox or any kind of type of game for that matter, you always see A, B, C, or X, Y, and all of that. And, you're used to the letters, but with the PlayStation, it's like so different because it has all those shape symbols and all that, and I was not used to that because like whenever they wanted you to do press this at the right time and all that stuff, technically I couldn't do that because like I had to rememorize a bunch of stuff, and I didn't have time for that with like those like fast-paced type of games. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of my whole experience with not exactly having PlayStation or anything like that. I do remember there was another kid that kind of came over my place that brought he brought his PlayStation 2, and it was a Spyro video game on the PlayStation 2. I forget the name of it, but it had what's his name? Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings, who voiced Spyro, and it had oh geez, I can't even remember his name. Who voiced Sparks. I did have a GameCube. Did I mention that I had that? I have that too. It's like same thing as the Wii, but basically, I had that at home too. But anyway, because like the first Spyro game I ever played was Enter the Dragonfly on GameCube, and I can understand it being pretty flawed and almost feels unfinished with how glitchy some of the levels can be. But that was one of those games I definitely grew up playing a lot, just because of how fun and expansive the world was. And, it was a little bit tedious to figure out, oh, the time ran out. Jeez. Okay. But it was a little bit tedious to try and like find all the dragonflies at different locations and such. But I still think it was a pretty fun game nonetheless. It did take me like 3 years or something to actually look up online to be like, oh, when you're in this level, you need to you know, race these, you know, these dinosaur ninjas or whatever they were in kites, and you gotta go past them and get these power-up thingies, whatever they were, and then it's like, oh, that's how I get the remaining dragonflies. But you know, I was a dumb kid. I didn't know how to beat the game, and I didn't beat the game until like way later in my years. But regardless of that, I still find you know, Enter the Dragonfly to be a decent game in my eyes. Like, yes, if you grew up playing like the other Spyro games, it's not good. Because, like, you know, you're so used to everything else being all polished, and, you know, you're not used to the game, you know, breaking the boundaries of its own world and all that stuff. Because, like, I have seen that quite a good couple times where, like the world glitches out, and it's like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Or even, like, if a character that you're talking to, you know, glitches out. I'm running out of time. I need to stop yammering. If only the time limit was, like, a lot shorter. See, this is the other difficult part about this game, is that, like, with the time limit. There we go. Dang it. But, like, if this time limit wasn't such a big deal, then I would probably have more time to get all the stamps and stuff. But I don't. I don't have time to get any of the stamps. And I want to get that bonus level, but how can you get so many stamps and look around and get stuff when you're on a time limit? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of a time limit, but what do I know? Okay. Ah! What is this? Like oil that's coming out or something like that? I honestly have no idea. Now, when I first played this, like test played this last night, I was like running through this game like a madman when I was playing Roadrunner, because like it's literally just like Sonic the Hedgehog, but Roadrunner, you know. So I mean, there's that. So definitely say there's that. Oh jeez, oh jeez. I hate those. That's probably like my most one-hated thing about this game is those weird Acme toy soldier bomb guys, or whatever you want to call them. I have no idea. So, oh, sweet, I got a life. Okay. Get all these clocks. Gotta get the clocks. Oh, there's another. Oh, and there's another. Oh, there's another. Oh, there's another. Okay, why are there so many clocks? Who cares? We got a bunch of speed boosts. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can't get that last one. Oh. Give me that. Give me that. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Now I made it to the end. Jeez. Okay, well, I honestly have no idea if I'm going to be able to get as many stamps as I want to, because, like, I don't know, there's, like, different sections in the game, I feel like, that, like, you need to, like, go through, whatever. I don't know. The one thing I would like to see, I don't know if it'll happen, but it would be cool, is, if, you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd got to, review these particular games, just to celebrate Coyote vs. Acme coming out. I think that'd be kind of cool to do. The closest he got to that was where he briefly talked about Death Valley Rally on his video of the tribute to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it's like, well, it's like a desert type of thing, so it's like sort of related to that. So that's kind of the reason why he reviewed that. But it was it was a pretty short review though too. I mean, it was literally just a compilation of different video games, you know, related to either casinos or all that. So, but you know, I can definitely understand. Like, people apparently didn't seem to like that video, and I can understand. And I thought it was okay. Like, it's not perfect, no, but I still thought it was pretty fun to watch. Really. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm going to be completely honest, I do not remember this. Is this the bonus stage? I wasn't even paying attention, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe this is the bonus stage. I have no idea. What am I even collecting? Oh, no, I'm still collecting stamps. Oh, and there was a life there. I missed it. Oh, and there was another life. Oh, there's Yosemite Sam. Okay. So I guess that was the bonus stage or something. I don't know what that was. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah, I forgot the meat. Yeah, there's a meat button. Oh, jeez. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Oh, my foot's starting to fall asleep. That's not a good thing. That's the other thing I would need if I ever plan to do, like, even more live streams. I'm not a professional live streamer, nor a professional YouTuber. But I feel like I would... But I feel like I would need to, you know, have some sort of comfortable type of setup. So that way my foot doesn't fall asleep. There we go. Oh, whoa. Didn't need that. Didn't need that. No, 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 no. Get out of there. Get out of there. The one thing I really do like about this game, like when I first played it, is either you or Wile E. Coyote, you know, the Roadrunner or Wile E. Coyote, you know, every step they take, you know, each time they walk. Oh, that's bull. Okay, I've honestly never seen that continue screen before. Anyway, you know, I didn't even realize I didn't put it on easy difficulty. Yeah, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But you know, whenever they walk, you know, the music, you know, kind of goes along, and I think that's pretty faithful to the cartoon in a way. I think they captured it pretty well. So I definitely like that. Oh geez, and trying to avoid the coyote is also a bit of a daunting task. It's already a daunting task enough to capture the Roadrunner when you're playing Wile E. Coyote, but holy crap. Ah! No, 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 no! Oh, oh, oh. Blow up or something. Come on. No, I didn't want to blow up, but apparently I already did. I hope there's infinite continues. I honestly have no idea. I didn't even look that up to see if there were infinite continues or not. See, again, it's like, you only get so much time on the timer, on the time limit, but, like, you know, I want to get, like, as many Acme stamps as I can just so I can achieve those, bonus stages, just to see the cameos from other Looney Tunes cartoons, but it's like, you know, only gives you so many, but that's okay. You don't have to watch my video. You can always watch some other professional gamer walkthrough how they do that. And look at that, even collecting birdseed is like so much easier in this game rather than Death Valley Rally, because you needed to like be so close and press a button. But here, all you need to do is just stand next to it. Doesn't matter how close you are, and you just press down. There you go. You got the birdseed, and you got your health back. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, it's not even like a thing for like a speed boost or anything. Speed boosts are like a separate thing, and that's completely fine too. Because honestly, birdseed with health makes a lot more sense. Because I'm pretty sure in Death Valley Rally there was no way at all to get your health back. I think I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't remember. It was a good while since I played it, like I think over a week ago. But still, that's definitely a game I never want to play in my life ever again, just because of how obscenely difficult that game is, and I just really don't like it. Like, I appreciate some stuff in it, like, you know, the graphics and all that stuff, but aside from that, the game itself is just not fun at all. Like, this is way more fun. Desert Demolition is way more fun. And even the name alone, Desert Demolition, sounds super fun. Because, you know, demolition? Anytime you think demolition, you're like, oh yeah, chaos and mischief is going to happen. Because, like, you know, destruction, you know, all that. But, yeah. I can't even remember where I got that particular game at. I could have gotten it from some sort of antique store or some game store. I was like, oh look, Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote on the Super Nintendo. There we go. So I just added that to my collection for whatever reason, but I do not even remember where I could have gotten it. Okay, here's another bonus stage. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, I see. Oh. Ew, okay. Now you're just Sonic the Hedgehog through all of this. Yes. I just have no idea. Oh, there goes the time. Okay. I don't know what... Okay. Alrighty. I find it funny if all these trampolines... You know, I don't know what I'm thinking. But I find it, like, really amusing of how, you know, the Roadrunner is just able to just bounce off of these so easily and not... Doesn't even look like he gets hurt at all. Because he never gets hurt. He never gets injured or anything like that. Ah! But, but it makes me wonder, like, what his, you know, does he ever sleep, or does he always run? Does he always taunt Wile E. Coyote, or what? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's possible. What? I ran out of time already? I thought I had more. God, I really need to pay attention to that time limit a lot more. Because I'm clearly not paying any attention. Nope. See, look. Oh, gee. Look, I already got, like, so many seconds. I can hear him. Sorry if I get so quiet sometimes, but it's like... I'm not a professional gaming commentator, or whatever you want to call it. Ah, God, there's the time limit again. I just can't screw around in this game. I need to run. I need to get going. And look at that. The way, like, you speed, like, destroys the cacti. I mean, that's just crazy. But yeah, look at that. You only get, like, so many seconds to get to the goal, and it's just insane. Ah! No, other way. No, other way. Where are you going? There we go. Okay, geez, look at that. I only had 5 seconds left. There was, like, no time at all to get any stamps. Just so stupid. Is it like one of those things where it's like, you know, you get so many stamps from Acme, you get like a free Acme plushie or something like that? Like, who else did that when they were a kid? You know, they would you know, get it from like a cereal box or a cuisine box or anything like that. You get like a prize. You know, you get so many tokens that you would, you know, cut out, or, you know, like box top. Are box tops even still a thing? But anyway, you know, you'd cut them out or punch them out, and you'd mail them. And when you mail them to wherever, like in a good couple weeks or so, you would eventually get like some sort of thing you would get, because like I talked about it in videos before, but I got like a little Munchster plush from CK Snacks, and a Kid Cuisine backpack, which was pretty dope back in, I want to say, 3rd grade when I got that thing, and a Kung Fu Panda blanket, and that was about it. Occasionally, you know, some cereal boxes or whatever would always have, you know, actual free physical things in there, like a free spoon or a book. And I remember there was I have a really vague memory that just came back to me, where I want to say it was in like a Cheerios box, where some cereals had like little mini versions of children's books that were in the cereal box, but it was like a thing of Cheerios, and oh, what the heck was that book called? It was like about a very polite ladylike T-Rex, Maisie the T-Rex, or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. It was like a T-Rex and like a hat with like a purse and all that. But it's like, I remember wanting that, and my mom was like, "No, you can't have it because you gotta eat the whole cereal box or something like that." And this is like one of the easiest bosses in history, if I'm being honest, especially with like, you know, Roadrunner's controls. Well, with the jumping controls, I mean, it's so much smoother. But I will say, you know, it's a lot easier to control rather than, you know, Wily's jumping. His jumping controls take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not too bad. So let me just go over this side. Not here. But yeah, final boss is in the Acme factory with whoever. No, that's why the coyote in the Acme truck, whatever that is. You just gotta blow up a bunch of TNT. See, this is like a much better boss battle as opposed to any of the bosses in Death Valley Rally. Like, there's nothing wrong with a bunch of variety of bosses, but those bosses were just insanely difficult, and you had to be like so patient with it. I just realized that there was a time limit on this boss too. I didn't know that. But anyway. Ah! Come on. Can I get to the other? No. Shoot. Okay. You know what? I think I'm... Ah! Okay, no, it's okay. We can do this. We can do this. Right? I like how he uses just his claw or his foot, his leg, to pull the lever. That's kind of funny, right? Alright. So what are these? Just barrels of TNT or barrels of monkeys, or what is this? How fast I'm going. Woo! I don't even know how many hits it needs to take, especially without it's on a different difficulty. Probably needs something different. Ah. Ow. Okay, here we go. Oh, I almost got it. Stop throwing bombs at me, please. Oh. Okay. You realize this means war. No, missed him. Jump on that. I hate how I can't jump on those, but I'm assuming that those are like door, whatever. I don't know. Shoot. Come on. Come on. No. Ah, come on. Get to the next one. Ah. Okay. Gotta wait. Gotta be patient. And on lunch. Yeah, I don't have any speed boosts. I just realized. I get that one. Okay. Nope. Okay. Oh shoot. Get to the end. Get to the end. Get to the end. Here we go. Alright. Come on. Ah, come on. Come on. Oh. Come on, just give me one more hit. Nope, not there yet. No, I lost. Oh, shoot. Okay. Sorry, I want to stop because I saw a chat. I remember wanting to get that Star Fox game that had some promotion out of a cereal box. Oh. Well, that's interesting. No, that's game over? Oh, no. Oh, man. I didn't realize that was game over. Aww. Okay, well, I guess that makes a lot of sense. So that's on a different difficulty. I wasn't aware of there being like a promotion of Star Fox on a cereal box. That's actually kind of interesting. There, you know, I was probably aware of like video game promotions on like cereal or something like that. I honestly don't know. I don't know what happened. Oh no, there we go. I thought my controller froze for a second. I was just like, wait a minute, what happened? Let's go ahead and do Wile E. Coyote next. And yeah, we won't change the game. Should I do it on hard mode? Should I play the game on hard mode? I feel like that would be very interesting for me. But I love what this game does is like, you know, Wile E. Coyote's animations in this is just so good. Because like it's very accurate to how the cartoons are. Because look at that. I love that jumping animation. That's just so good. And even if you do catch the Roadrunner, you get some stamps and all that stuff. So I feel like as Wile E. Coyote, you would probably be able to get more stamps as opposed to the Roadrunner. Because like when you're on time, well, you still have the same amount of time. Oh, look at all that stuff that I just got. And that's the only other thing is that like you need to kind of when you're using these Acme products, you know, you need to kind of slow down too. Oh no, and that's funny right there too. Like even when playing as him, you know, you get a hilarious animation of him blowing up. I think it was some kind of scam to kind of get to pester their parents to buy. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that was the intention. Of just like, yeah, just have so many GameStop points or whatever it was, and like, you know, get it like $5 off for this Nintendo game or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that were a thing. You know, I would not be surprised at all. Aw. Alright. Now, the one thing I really do like about this game, too, is the fact that, like, Wile E. Coyote gets to use, like, different Acme products. And they're all in boxes, too, which is great. Okay, can I get... Okay. Let me... there we go. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. The only bad part is that you do take fall damage when you see those hilarious animations, but, you know, whatever. Down here. Ooh. Okay. Down here. You know, I keep forgetting about like two different things while playing this game already. I'm forgetting about the time limit, and I'm forgetting about how many stamps I need to get, because I need to get like 125 or more just to get to the just to get to the bonus stages. And you know, trying to get so many stamps is just crazy to do. Yeah, you know, thinking of that that chat I saw of like, you know, promotion or something like that. I'm trying to think if there was ever a video game that I was, you know, when I was younger, where I was pestering my parents to be like, I want this video game so bad, you know, if I saw it in a store or something like that. And, you know, they were just like, no, it's too expensive, something like that, you know. It's like, no, can't get it. Oh, what happened there? Okay. But I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that comes to my mind, really. Maybe there's something like that. Get that. So you can get Dr. Meat. Jump up there, jump up there. There we go. There we go. Get some of those stamps. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. It's kind of lagging a little bit. Oh, come on. Get. I love the music, like when he runs too. Just dun, 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 dun. I love that. That's really good. Oh man, I almost had him. Get back here. That'd be really hilarious if like they made some sort of reference to like one of the Looney Tunes video games, like Birthday Blowout, or even like one of these things. That would be so hilarious if they had that in Coyote vs. Acme. I don't think that'll happen, but it would be a funny homage or reference or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like of how in you know, the Super Mario movie, of how they had Kid Icarus on like an original Nintendo in the background. It's like one of those things where it's like, hey, if you saw that, you're a hardcore fan, or you know, you've been paying attention to the movie or something like that. And unfortunately, I still have not seen Super Mario Galaxy. I believe I've heard people like it, audiences mainly, but I don't know. I really don't know. There's life there. Excellent. But I really do want to see it. You know, I just haven't been able to get any tickets to see. Is it even still out in theaters right now? I honestly don't know. But, you know, I've just been, you know, trying to afford a bunch of other things, you know, paying off my car, paying off my loans, and just trying to save up money in general, and, you know, food, and trying to survive in general. You know how it is. So yeah, I suppose Star Fox was the first 2D flying game. I want it to be Lawnmower Man, I guess. So I've never seen the Lawnmower Man. I know it's like, is it like based on a Stephen King book? And it's like one of those like really weird early 3D render type of movies or something like that. I know that there was a game of it, but I don't know much about what it is or anything like that. But no, I've never seen the Lawnmower Man. The images I've seen of Lawnmower Man with that weird CGI, almost Tron looking face, just like, I don't know if I could sit through. I mean, I suppose I could. I sat through Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, it's, I bet it's weird. Yeah. I mean, I've seen weirder movies, let me tell you. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay. So yeah, you don't want to jump off of that. You need to stay balanced on those ropes. Because the sign literally says, keep your balance. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now this is the difficult part right here. Or, oh, no, not there. It's the next one. The next one. I'm sure. Right? Or is it the one below? Oh, I never knew I could do that. Just like crawl. Oh, could that be a way to... I don't know. Anyway. Oh. Alright. I am not doing too well in terms of trying to find as many stamps as I'm supposed to. It's all over the place. Typical movies. Oh, Sleeper Cell. What? Weird. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe if Tubi is streaming it, or some other place, maybe I'll see if I can be able to watch. There's a sequel too, isn't there? Lawnmower Man. I think there is, but I have no idea. Oh. Oh. You know, so bad it's good kind of movie. Oh, yep, okay. Okay, you know what? I could probably accept that. Because there's a good handful of movies that are so bad they're good. I mean, if you've ever watched Kung Pao Enter the Fist, or The Giant Claw, You know, anything like that. Oh, really? It's on YouTube for... Okay, well, I appreciate that. I'll see if I can get around to that later today. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Okay, there's already, like, one flaw I'm kind of noticing with this game, and it's mainly just, like, you know, when you're going so fast, you know, you got all these obstacles in front of you, and you have, like, no time to... You have no time to react for, like, what's in front of you, and what's ahead. Because, like, if you're going so fast, you know... I mean, with Sonic the Hedgehog, it's different, you know, because that game... You know, anybody who's played Sonic the Hedgehog knows what I'm talking about. Because, like, the way they programmed that game was meant for that purpose. It's like, yeah, there are some certain points where you need to slow down and pay attention and all that stuff, but still, it gave you the moments you wanted to where it could get... Saw that coming, and I didn't stop myself. But it's like, you know, you saw it coming, but it's like... I lost my train of thought. I don't know. It's not, okay, anyway. But yeah. So, let's see. It's already the beginning of May, which is crazy to think. And which means, let's see, June, July, about almost a little over 3 months until Coyote vs. Acme is released, so... I'm pretty excited, in all honesty. I mean, there's been a good... I think there's been a good amount of hype around it. I've already seen, like, a lot of different things related to Coyote vs. Acme. Like, when I was at work, I saw, like, 2 different cars that had, different decals related to Wile E. Coyote, which I thought was hilarious and awesome. I recently had a friend of mine who was at some sort of car show he was at, and there was, like, 2 different cars that were in the style of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I was like, whoa! Because they had, like, stickers and, like... all these other different things that that were surrounded by like different Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner stuff and all that, and I thought that was really cool. Just like an entire car dedicated to that stuff. It's like, yeah. Oh my gosh, I have like so few stamps. Like, give me the stamps, bro. All right. Okay. I think I would make that jump. Whoop. Whoop. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yeet. There we go. Okay. So, oh, okay. Oh, what in the world was that? Okay. Yeah, I apologize, I'm not like much of a professional streamer or anything like that. Like, I haven't been able to do too many streams very often in the past, because like the last times I did live streams ever was like, I don't remember, late at night or something, and the only way I could do that was through my PS4, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that anymore. Because like, with the PlayStation doing a whole bunch of weird stuff with like, oh, if you bought any games past the March update thing or whatever it was, you have to log in once every month to verify your purchase or to restore your purchase or some stupid thing like that, and that's just obnoxious. Like, I cannot imagine how stupid that is. And like, the last thing what was the last thing I bought on my PlayStation for? Because like, when I saw the announcement seeing that they were gonna not access the PlayStation Store anymore for the PS4, I was thinking, well, are there any particular games that I want to get that I can only get digitally and not physically that I want to get? And my only thoughts were, well, there's a Planet of the Apes VR game that I want to get, and that hasn't been released physically, unfortunately. And there's also a Vacation Simulator, like the sequel to Job Simulator. I wanted to get that, but I'm someone who loves physical more. I just like the physical format so much better than digital. Because like, Exorcist Legion VR, I think is a pretty decent VR horror game. But the fact that like it's only digital and you can't get it like physically as of now is pretty stupid. But it's still a pretty good game. I feel like, because even Job Simulator, that had a physical physical release. But the only way you can get that is like, you know, to give yourself, it would cost an arm and a leg, just because, like, for some stupid reason the physical version of that game is pretty pricey. And, you know, in time I did want to get that, but, you know, it's like, one, I already got it digitally, and two, for that price of like over $100 or however much it is, I don't know if it would entirely be worth it. Maybe it would be, just because of that hardcore collecting, you know, completionist inside me or something like that. You know, I would just be like, well, maybe someday, but I don't know. I mean, heck, even Vacation Simulator didn't get a physical release, which is bizarre, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, no, Job Simulator is like really fun. The reason why I wanted to play that was because I saw, you know, my dad and I got to see that one thing where Conan O'Brien was at like the YouTube VR headquarters. Well, it was YouTube headquarters in general, but he was doing like a bunch of VR games, and we laughed so hard when we saw Conan, you know, playing Job Simulator and just like messing around like a complete goofball around the office, and it was so funny. It was so funny. My dad laughed so hard when, you know, he was screwing up so many different orders on the game and all that stuff. But it's a pretty fun game, in all honesty. And even, you know, coming from someone who, you know, has worked at retail good few years, doing the whole like you know, retail employee or whatever it's called stage and all that. Oh, I don't want to get the exit yet. Ah! Get back here. I'm trying to get the stamps that he's gonna drop, because I only need like a few more. But yeah, the store clerk stage, or whatever that's called, is a pretty fun one, because like I can finally simulate me saying like stuff I want to say to, you know, this certain customers that really tick me off. Just be like, shut up! I'm not getting this for you. Get it yourself. You know, all that stuff. But no. You know, I feel like anybody who has any kind of job, if they deal with customers or certain, you know, they get those types of people that, you know, they really want to like tell them what for or do something to them, but, you know, they can't because they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to have that happening to them and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But, you know, everybody I feel like goes through that, where it's like, you know, they want to do this to the person, but they can't. Obviously, you know, someone who's like a nice guy like me, I'm just like, no, the time limit, I forgot. Who knows? They might come out. Might come out with new emulator technology with AI. I don't know if that would be a good idea, really. I mean, emulator technology with AI. I mean, I don't know. Still use the 360. Might get a PS5 when the PS6 comes out. Yeah, that's what I was like. It's like, yeah, the PS. Oh, I didn't get the chance to continue because I was messing around. Dang it. No, it's okay. But yeah, because like before I even had a PS4, all I had access to was my 360, and that was the only way I could, like, you know, access to YouTube and some certain things, and that was a lot. I watched a lot of YouTube on the 360, and you know, it was pretty fun to do. But then as soon as, like, you know, my PS4 got here, eventually I was just like, you know, the poor 360 gets left in the dust and all that, so I was just like, well, but that's okay. And I unfortunately don't use my 360 as much as I used to when I was younger. I really wish I did, because there was like some certain days where it's like, oh, I might get in the mood for this game or that game or whatever, and all of a sudden, you know, the 360 goes through some stupid thing where it's like, you know, you know, your wireless controller can't connect to the console. Because I honestly can't explain how it works. So if anybody out there can, like, explain to me how the whole thing works of, like, the 360 not being able to connect to the wireless controller, just let me know, because, like, it's like when I try to connect to it, it doesn't want to, because, like, it doesn't give me the regular, like, green circle thing that indicates that it's able to connect to my wireless controller. And the only way I remember being able to achieve that type of thing is, like, you know, unplugging the system and plugging it in a different outlet and going from there. But that's about it. And then sometimes it still doesn't work. So it has to be just because, like, I had I hadn't used it in a good while because, like, I used to play a lot of games on the 360, like Sonic Generations, the Genesis Collection, and Force Unleashed 2, and what the heck else did I play a lot? But no, there was a lot. There was a lot on there. And even when I was younger, I played a lot of Just Dance or anything involving the Kinect. A lot of Just Dance, because, like, maybe the hip of the homecoming or winter balls that we had in school. It's right there. There we go. Trying connection problems. Ask ChatGPT or Gemini and tells me how to fix it. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess there's that, but I'm sorry. I'm not someone who really trusts AI that much because I've seen the Terminator. I've had friends who, were obsessed with the Terminator movies, and I'm just like, well, I can definitely understand because it's either one of those things where either the robots will take over the future at some point, or they'll just sit back and relax and wait for humanity to destroy ourselves. Because, like, how did the Terminator say that? It's in your instinct to destroy each other, in your nature to destroy each other. That's how it goes. But yeah, it's like I've seen all these things where it's like, oh, ChatGPT is doing this or something like that, and that's that's the other thing I find so sad about with AI is that, like, I graduated high school in 2019, which is very lucky for me on two different accounts. One, I didn't have to sit through 2020, follow their regulations or rules and all that stuff, just because of how, the outbreak and all that stuff happened. Because, like, from what I was hearing, it's like, oh yeah, everybody has to sit a far distance from each other while they eat lunch and all this other different stuff. It was just so bad from what I heard. But, like, not only that, but, like, the fact that teachers have to deal with, like, AI, the possibility of AI, where it's like, well, because in high school we had to, either write or most of the time we would type our essays or whatever we needed to on a computer. We eventually got assigned Macs on each one rather than just getting one. And, most of the time for an essay or whatever we needed to do, we would just, have stuff typed down. But now, with, like, ChatGPT or AI or any type of, like, software that can do that now, kids nowadays can just, like, have an AI do their assignment for them. But then again, if they just do that and probably don't look it all the way over, a teacher might be able to catch that. So I cannot imagine the type of hell that teachers have to go through just to grade papers and realize, oh wait, this is AI generated, you didn't actually type this out. Because, like, we had to go through all the, like, really difficult ups and downs of, like, we had to, like, cite our sources and, like, go to this website that cited our sources for us and, do this at the end. I hated essays. I absolutely hated essays. It was just so boring and so annoying. It's like, oh, you gotta remember to do this to cite your source, and it was just terrible. It was just downright awful. Really, it's just like an advanced Google search. Google should have the whole time. They probably, yeah. I don't know. I think there does actually. Well, oh wait a minute. Wait, where's it going? Get back here. Get over here. Oh look, I was right there. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I just feel like so bad for, like, any teachers in high school and maybe even college too, where they have to deal with all these students that are doing their assignments and probably programming AI to do their essays for them and all that. You know what I mean? I mean, I just can't imagine having to deal with all that, because, like, you have to, like, set a bunch of different rules to be like, yeah, no AI to do your essays for you, and to prove that you didn't use AI, you have to, I don't know, have this or something like that. I honestly don't know how they do it or how they are doing it right now. But regardless of that, I still feel kind of bad, because I cannot imagine how much of a headache or even migraines that they go through on a daily basis just because of that. However, AI doing your math problems, that's completely fine with me, because I always hated math and still hate math to this day. You can just Google it now, and teacher, you're not going to leave a calculator. Yeah, I think that was the only other thing, is that like when I was in college, for some stupid reason, I had to take a pre-algebra or some sort of math class. I don't even remember anymore, and I never cared for it. But I remember it's like, you know, you had to put your phones in this basket so that way you're not using it to cheat. You could use a calculator if you had one or wanted to borrow it or something like that. But there wasn't anything remotely good about that math class. It was just so boring. And I'm taking a math, and my major was just in digital cinema and media arts. That was it. What did I need to take another math class for that I already know some stuff from high school about that I needed to learn in there? Like, what did I need to know in there? And I'll be completely honest, don't remember anything from it, and I don't. The only good part about it is that there was a really, really high, girl that was there when I was in college, and, I don't know how old she was. She was probably like maybe like 22, 23, something like that, and I was like 18. But like, wow, there was no way a woman that hot should be taking a math class. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying, frankly. But anyway, we'll just move on. But yeah, that's the one thing I don't understand really, is that, like, in order to do a digital cinema class, you had to do math. I mean, I feel like any type of class you have to do math or whatever. The only one thing I did kind of like was that, when I had to transfer over, because my college kind of screwed me over, was when the other school that I transferred over to was they had a like a rock and roll class, like an actual class dedicated to rock and roll, like classic rock music, or it was just like a music class in general, I think it was, and that was pretty cool. Because like there were certain times where it's like, if I were to do like some sort of quiz or whatever it was, they were like, identify the song. Identified this song. It was like an audio clip, and we would have like, I don't know, maybe like 15 seconds to identify what the song was. We'd listen to the lyrics, listen to the song, and we would try to identify what the name of it was. Most of the time, I would have absolutely no idea what it was, and this was before I discovered Shazam, which is the app that helps you identify certain songs by having the app listen to it and all that. And this was before I knew it even existed. So all I did was just like, look up lyrics to certain songs. It's like, oh, it's this song by so and so, and that was it. Other times, very rarely, I think, where there would be like certain ones I wouldn't know what they were, but whatever. I still thought it was pretty cool. My dad was definitely fascinated by it just because he loves listening to classic rock, because he listened to that when he was growing up. But it was a pretty interesting class. There was one particular assignment where we had to listen to a full album we never listened to and like give it like a review on it or whatever it was, and it was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles. I got to listen to that album for the first time, and it was a pretty good listen. And I can't remember what the last assignment was, like the final thing before, during finals or whatever it was. I want to say it was like, try to create your own album, and honestly, I don't think that was the assignment. I could be wrong. I don't remember. But even if that was the assignment to do, it's, create my own song album or whatever it was, I had no access to anything to do that. Because, like, I don't have instruments. I don't play instruments. I don't know to sing. I don't have any, like, type of, proper equipment to do any of that stuff. So I was just like, I'm not doing this. And I still passed. I still graduated and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure, I think from what I remember, I'm pretty sure that it didn't even require to, that many points to graduate anyway. I mean, it was like only so many points or whatever, and it's like, I already got enough points to graduate or whatever, so it's like, it doesn't really matter anymore. So, I mean, there's that. So, yeah. I think the only thing that really sucked about college for me was that, the year I was supposed to graduate from the first college before I transferred over was that the reason why they screwed me over was because apparently I didn't get enough points in order to graduate. Like, I didn't take enough classes, which, I was not in charge of. Because the way that I understand it was that, you know, whoever the person was that helped, you know, assign the classes for me, because like I didn't know what I needed, I didn't know how many I needed to take in order to graduate, because it's like you needed so many points to graduate. Dropped out in 10th grade. Oh wow, I mean, more power to you, I guess. We had a classmate that literally dropped out when he was supposed to graduate, and he never graduated. But anyway, you know, they screwed me over because, like, you know, I was supposed to graduate, you know, 2 years in with an associate's degree, but I didn't get enough points to graduate because apparently I didn't take enough classes. And the funny thing is that, like, the first day that I moved in, around August, or toward the end of August, or it was the middle of August, they somehow sent me an email, or maybe it was September, I don't remember. But they sent me an email saying, "Oh, you don't have enough points to stay in the dorms, or enough like passing points or class points or whatever to stay in the dorms. So you need to take another class, yada yada." So I had to talk to someone about it just so I could figure it all out. And you know, the person that assigned those classes to me apparently didn't work there anymore. So like these two different people, you know, I was talking to were like scrambling around all over the place to try and figure out, you know, what I needed to do, not only to graduate, but to like stay in the dorms and like get my classes or whatever I needed to take and all that stuff. And you know, toward the end, I still didn't get enough points to graduate, which is so stupid. Because like, you know, I only needed like so many different things in order to graduate, and I still didn't get enough. And everyone else graduated, but me and another guy, we didn't get to graduate that year, which was so stupid. Because like I was like that much that I needed left or whatever, and they just screwed me over just because whoever it was that assigned my classes probably didn't know what they were doing, which is probably why they quit. And just for that reason, you know, she screwed me over just because, you know, she didn't give me the right amount of classes that I needed. Because, you know, I was a newbie to this. I didn't know how any of this stuff works, and I still don't know how any of that stuff worked. But the fact that like I needed help, and that's their job, you know, that's what their job is, to help me figure out, you know, what classes I needed, you know, the points that I needed to graduate and all that stuff. You know, they screwed me over, so the only option I had left was to either, you know, continue at, you know, the same course at that school but pay a big amount, or transfer to a different school, pay a bit less, and you know, you're a bit closer to home. So I just did the one that was closer to home. Did you ever get a job from it? I did not. Well, technically not, because like I transferred over my usual job I had since high school. I just transferred over there for 2-ish years or whatever it was. So I honestly hated it. Hated working at that place, because transferring over to that particular place, it had like 2 different at the same location, and it sucked. It absolutely sucked, because like, you know, I'm someone who works in retail, and you know, I was a cashier there. And the thing that really sucked about it was that like they don't have any blinking lights there compared to the one that I work to. That's close to where I live. And you know, the blinking lights indicate like, oh, you need a manager to help you with, you know, so and so or such and such. And they didn't have any of those. They literally had like phones to your side, so you had to like call them and say, hey, can I get a manager to this register or whatever it was. And most of the time, you know, they probably couldn't hear you, or they were in the middle of doing something else, or they would just be goofballing off somewhere else, talking to someone, just having a conversation, going and all that. And that was the thing that I really hated about that place, is that, you know, the particular, you know, store that I worked at was filled with a bunch of dingbats and idiots. Like, they were all a bunch of buffoons and boobs. I mean, seriously, they were a bunch of idiots. And that was like, if I ever end up living at that place, I never want to work there ever again. Because, like, they were just a bunch of dingbat idiots. Like, seriously, they were so stupid. And I hated it, too. Just because, I don't know, I guess even the people that worked there were kind of morons. Like, not just the managers, but the employees were kind of idiots. Or, I don't know. I don't know, just the way they acted or something like that was just like, I don't know what you call it. But anyway, the point is that, you know, that was definitely an interesting experience that I never want to relive again. I remember there was like one day where I had to work in a tent, and I never got a break from that. Like, they were just like, oh, we'll put you in like this tent, because we're having a tent sale in this tent, or whatever the heck it was. I don't even know how to describe it. But anyway, I did that, and I never got a break from that, because, like, you know, I'm always assigned to a break, and you know, I still am owed at least 4 breaks. You know, not from that particular place. I want to say maybe 1 or maybe even 2 from the place I transferred over to, but 4 breaks in total from the normal place that I've been working at for years. But anyway, but yeah, there was one winter I remember where like it got to like -30 degrees. I'm not kidding. It was like under -30, -38 or something like that. And I knew it was going to be super cold. So what I did was I literally, had like 3 pairs of socks on, and I did the best I could to try and stay warm. And I was even like, next to the door where people would enter from, and it was still cold. My toes were freezing cold. I still couldn't be warm or anything like that. So there was nothing I could do. It was just so cold. But anyway, do move around. People forced to enjoy. Yeah, forced around and yeah. But anyway, but yeah, my main point is that my college screwed me over just because whoever assigned me those classes, thought they were giving me the right amount of hours or class points or whatever it was that I needed to graduate, but they clearly didn't give me that. And just because of that reason, my professor, teacher, whatever you want to call them, basically said, well, you won't have enough to graduate here, so you can either do this, or you can transfer over to get the classes you need, so that way you can graduate there, or still graduate with the same degree, or something like that. But yeah, they basically screwed me over, because I was supposed to graduate within 2 years, and I was supposed to graduate in, oh geez, what was it? Like the end of 2020 or something? No, I was at the end. The end of 2020, or maybe even 2021. I don't know. But the fact that they still screwed me over didn't really help. And I ended up graduating, 2022, which isn't terrible, but I'm still paying off loans, which is like more than I really wanted to pay off. And it's one of those cases where, like, I wish I could sue them, but I'm pretty sure that I can't. But what do I know about, going to court and suing people and, having an attorney? I can't do that. I don't know how to do all that stuff, so it doesn't matter. It's all in the past now. I'm close to paying it all off. Hopefully I pay it off very soon. Regardless, but for the moment, I'm just having fun. Oh, look at this bat suit. Yeah! Just like spam the fly button and just try to make it to the end as fast as you can, you know what I mean? And I died. Oh, no, I'm alive. This game works hard, but I couldn't do it. Oh, are you talking about this game? Because, like, if you're talking about this game being hard, wait till you play Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally. That is a really difficult game. Oh, I didn't even do that. Like, much harder compared to this game. This game is pretty fun, though. Oh, I died? Ah. Well, that was stupid. Come on. Oh, dang it, I had the umbrella. That was actually kind of funny. I wanted to show that a little bit more. That's okay. Alright, Batman suit. Fly, fly, fly. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I even care about the Acme stamps anymore, because it's hard to when, you're worried about the time limit, and when you're worried about, all this other different stuff. My IQ pop started. Oh. Okay. Well, okay, now, the one interesting thing I found about this boss is the fact that Roadrunner is driving this Acme truck, or whatever it is, It's like, how does he have access to that? And like, I don't remember Roadrunner ever, working in an Acme factory, a truck, whatever this is. And the fact that the Roadrunner is a final boss is just really bizarre, too. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? 10 years. Wow. Oh. Yeah. But I mean, there were some things that were, some good upsides to being in college. I got to make a good couple of friends along the way. Both in college and out of college. and even got to make like a bit of a short film, or a couple of short films. Even if they were just short little video projects and stuff like that, but they were still fun. Still fun to do. And one of the, you could see probably a couple of those college projects I worked on my channel. And but no, it was pretty fun. But the thing was is that like oh, I beat the game. But the thing was that like there were some certain things that our professor was kind of an a-hole really most of the time, where it's like, oh, he expects us to learn this or know this, but it's like, that's why I'm taking this class, because I don't know how this works or what I need for this or that, and he gets all all ticked off and stuff just because, oh, you didn't know. Anyway, like I said, it's in the past now. It doesn't matter. All right, so look at that, Acme Customer of the Year. He's like, Wile E. Coyote is definitely like the #1 Acme customer. I mean, let's be for real here. So yeah, that's the Death Valley Rally. I only got to show like a little bit of the bonus stages, but I mean, like, when you're only going all over the place, what can you do? I honestly don't know if there's like a cheat code for like an infinite time code. Otherwise, I could, do that and such, where I'm just like, oh, I'm, showing more of the game, showing the bonus stages. But I don't know if I want to go through the rest of that effort of going through all the bonus stages. It's like, yeah, you get to see cameos from all the other Looney Tunes characters, but it's like there's only so much on there. But I got to show some. I saw Daffy and Elmer. I saw Yosemite Sam and Tweety and Sylvester. But yeah, if you want, I could go through Birthday Blowout. There's that, because that's like one of the only other Looney Tunes games I got. But I'm being completely honest. Like, this game is like really fun. If I had this as a kid, I absolutely would have loved this, because like it's so chaotic, but in a really fun way. But I definitely enjoy Death Valley Rally. So I suppose I'll go ahead and play Birthday Blowout just because I can. I mean, I know it's not Roadrunner or Wile E. Coyote related, but I suppose I'll go ahead and play a bit of Birthday Blowout. I mean, Wile E. Coyote's kind of in it. I mean, he's not like a main character. He's like one of the few bosses in the game, but that's about it. Birthday Blowout, I think, was like one of the first few NES titles that I got in my collection. So. Interesting shift change, right? You go from Wile E. Coyote to Bugs Bunny. Fun, right? That's Alright. Good part is that I still use my Genesis controller. Yeah, we don't care about this. Ah, see, look, Wile E. Coyote right there. See, he's right there, walking around, watering plants in here in Tennessee. Well, hello Tennessee. Hello from Nebraska. Hey, watering plants, walking and watering plants. What kind of plants do you have? I tried raising Venus flytraps, but unfortunately, I'm just not meant to raise Venus flytraps apparently. Because I really like Venus flytraps. I was able to like feed one of them at one point with like a little bug that just had wandered around my house. But unfortunately, it was just one of those things where it's like it did not work out too well. It's like, they need water every so often or whatever, and it's like, they need to be in sort of direct sunlight. I don't know. It's just like it needs a specific type of what do I want to say? Blueberry. Oh wow, blueberry bushes. That's actually really cool. I like that. So it's like, you can get fresh blueberries that way. That's actually really cool. I like that. Blueberry bushes. We have a kind of a mulberry tree next to our house. So every now and then we just like pick it off and enjoy some nice little mulberries whenever we're outside. And we tried it with ice cream before. And it wasn't too bad. It was all right. Now, I only have like, anytime I would play this particular game, I would always just automatically think of AVGN. Just playing this game and beating the crap out of Bugs Bunny. I mean, that was always really fun with this. Alright, here's is the easiest boss fight in video game history. Just get the carrot, and there you go. You don't need to deal with Daffy Duck or anything like that. Yeah. What's up, Doc? I definitely say these bonus stages are a pain sometimes. Like you just have to spam it. Oh, there we go. See, look at that. One up. That was easy, right? Yeah, ain't done yet, Doc. Still gotta get the carrot. Ah. Oh. Oh. You know, the one thing I've always wanted to get, speaking of plants and stuff, is I've always wanted to have, like, you know, certain plants that, like, can give you, like, fresh fruit, like a banana tree, or, like, a peach tree, you know, any of those apple trees, like maybe a Golden Delicious or something like that, and cherry trees would be really cool to have, because I love cherries. Only thing is that I like the maraschino cherries, as opposed to, like, regular cherries with, like, seeds in them. I hate seeds in cherries, but aside from that, it's like, yeah, tons of bamboo. You eat the bamboo to pandas. Bamboo is, like, really hard and thick too, isn't it? Like it's a really tough type of plant. So I've, like, seen, like, things were, like, in World War II or something like, or no, it was, I think, the Vietnam War. That, like, certain traps were made out of bamboo just because of how sharp and hard they are. They can't, or whatever they can be. Come on, get out of here, Tweety. Ah! Come on. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, I've tried raising, like, a couple different types of Venus flytraps. Oh, okay. But yeah, I tried raising Venus flytraps before. The first time I tried was, like, you know, had a little kit or whatever it was where you had, like, the seeds, and we thought we were doing it correctly by, like, having it in direct sunlight or something like that. Maybe we watered at one point, but they never grew, which was unfortunate. And then we tried, or I tried raising them because, like, you know, they had them in the store that I worked at, and I thought, oh hey, how convenient. You know, just a small little, you know, Venus flytrap, and that's about it. Unfortunately, it didn't last too long, which kind of sucked, but, you know, I was just like, well, maybe I'll try again some other time, and then tried once again, and it was like that mixed with, oh, what are they called? Pitcher plants? And, that was also pretty cool. Just seeing, you know, seeing it try to, eat flies was pretty neat. That pitcher plants. But, you know, just eventually just died off, just because, like, I don't know if it just wasn't getting enough sunlight that it needed, or if it wasn't getting enough water, or whatever. I don't know. Thousands and thousands and thousands of bamboo. Wow. Okay. So you got blueberry bushes and bamboo. I mean, wow. That's a lot. Hey. Good on you right there, right? That is pretty cool. I was never too fond of raising certain plants. Like, I understand, like, you know, a lot of people in their own homes have, you know, certain plants for, like, decor or whatever you want to call it and all that stuff. And that's completely cool. I mean, completely fine. Like, if they smell good and all that stuff, I mean, that's great. But it's just like, it's like I have another responsibility of taking care of this living thing that doesn't really do anything exciting except either look cool or smell good or anything like that. Like, if it was something particular, like, I don't know, I'm not a plant expert, but like I said, I'm someone who would rather raise, like, a tree that would be able to give you, like, fruit or something like that, you know what I mean? I don't know. Just something like that. But again, I was never someone who was too crazy about raising plants most of the time anyway, but that's completely fine, you know. I got my dog, I'm someone who's more of a pet person and all that. And that's the other thing, is that, like, with our dogs, whenever we have plants, they would sometimes eat the plants, which was smart, you know. 40 feet, what? 40 feet tall? Okay, that's actually really insane. I didn't know that it could get that tall. Maybe I did, I don't know. Man, that is nuts. Oh, there's Wile E. Coyote, see? Oh, okay. Bye, Wiley. Okay. Something to, well, you know what? That's a fair point. Something to do. It's like if you don't have a like a hobby outside of going outside of the house or anything like that. I mean, that's a fair point. That's good enough. That's fair. Totally fair. I can definitely understand that. Oh, I hate this whack-a-mole section. It's like, for me, I don't see any point to this other than for it to just be aggravating. And I guess there's points to it. I honestly have no idea. I prefer the other one. Where it's just slot machine type of thing, or whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry. Anytime I hear this music, I can only think of AVGN just like kicking bugs. It's just so silly. So silly. Alright. You know, I almost wonder if Mel Plank ever played any of these Looney Tunes games when they came out. When did he pass away? Like in the late 80s or very early 90s? I don't remember when he passed away. But if this was around his time, and if he was still alive around then, I wonder if he ever experienced these. I doubt it, but it'd be kind of funny. Plant for even when you eat some blueberries. Hey, yeah. I mean, I like blueberries. I think they're pretty unique. Same as strawberries. Love strawberries. Maraschino cherries. All that, you know. Ah. Yeah. Blueberries are pretty good. That'd be actually kind of fun to raise like a blueberry bush or like grapevines or something like that. Oh. It's duck season. Duck season. It's like there's not really any point to having Daffy as a boss in these stages, because like all you need to do is get the carrot and that's it. It's not really much of a boss fight, really. Oh. Don't. No bonus. Alright. I guess I should talk about, you know, what I'm expecting to see in Coyote vs. Acme, since I'm sort of on the topic of it, but it's like I might as well talk about it. I'm no longer playing Desert Demolition now, I'm just playing this game. What am I expecting out of it? Well, obviously, I'm expecting it to be a really good movie, and I have my feelings that it definitely will be. I am very psyched about it. And I'm expecting to see quite a good few amount of Looney Tunes characters in there from what the trailer has shown. And that's my train of thought. I would like to see popcorn buckets come out of the movie. I think that would be really cool for that to happen, because like there's a lot of good creative ideas you can think of to where you know, you can make an Acme Wile E. Coyote related popcorn bucket. It's like, you know, dynamite or something like that. You know, that'd be kind of fun. It's like, you know, if you had Wile E. Coyote with a thing of dynamite and you open it up, and it looks like he blew up, but it's just, you know, the opening for a popcorn bucket or something like that. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like different types of ideas for it, but I'm really excited how this movie, like, it could have been lost media, but it's no longer lost thanks to Ketchup Entertainment for obtaining and buying the movie. Because I think it was definitely a huge mistake on Warner Brothers' part for having it be a stupid tax write-off. I mean, how many times can I say that? But regardless, I'm still excited to see it. I'm not even joking when I'm saying that I plan to see it at least 3 times in the movie theater just to support it. And that reminds me, too, I need to rewatch The Day the Earth Blew Up on my big screen projector. Just because I can. I already watched Space Jam and Back in Action. So it's like, might as well, you know. I still haven't seen Space Jam 2, unfortunately. I feel like I should, just to say, you know, just because, you know, it's still Looney Tunes crossing over with all the other Warner Brothers properties. All that, you know. I feel like I should still see it. But other than that, I'm still excited for Coyote vs. Acme, because, like, even if there's, like, a Thursday showing, I'm going to see it Thursday night. And I still plan to see it the Friday showing as well. Like I said, I plan on seeing it at least 3 times in the theater. 4 or 5 times if I can find a date for it. But chances are probably going to be low on that. But me seeing it 3 times in the theater, much higher. So there is that. There. Oh. Here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ah! This game is just absolutely chaotic, you know what I mean? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Jump, what are you doing? Alright. Now this is a pretty silly one, because like, all you need to do, just spam the hammer, and there you go. Yep. Here we go. No, no bonus. No, no bonus today, sir. No bonus today. That's the only other thing about this game, is that this is a game that's like way too easy. Obviously it's meant for kids or whatever, but like the fact that it's just so easy to get so many lives is just insane. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, you already get so many carrots throughout the game, and like you get so many lives, and that way you can't die. I mean, it's how, you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd said, it's like deliberately keeping you in the game so you can't stop. And it just gets way too generous with the extra lives. Oh, no, I died. Because, like, okay, that's the first life I lost. What is it, like 17 right there? I don't know. Maybe if I die a couple more times, I'll probably end it. Oh. There's not the jump one. That's the jump one. Ah! I just like how Bugs is just so tiny and so sprightly. It's just like, oh, it's tiny, tiny. I would like to see the nerd review more like Looney Tunes related video games, just to have an excuse to bring Bugs Bunny back. I think that'd be really fun to see. But the one thing I really would like him to review is, in my opinion, one of the worst PlayStation 1 games I've ever played, Rascal, where it's like, it has bad tank controls. It's like the presentation of it seems promising enough, and it was, you know, an early Traveler's Tales game, but the game is just not good at all in terms of playability or anything like that. I'm actually surprised I was even able to beat it, like when I first got it. But it was just not fun. The only reason why I got that game was because I remember seeing a couple images of it from a computer graphics and animation book that I saw, that I got at a Goodwill. And, you know, it showed graphics of particular video games like, you know, Super Mario 64, and it showed, you know, a couple frames of Rascal. And I was just like, Rascal? I've never even heard of the game. And, you know, the animation looked kind of interesting, because it showed, you know, an image of a cutscene, and then it showed, like, even the cart, which was, like, in the gameplay. I thought, oh, this game looks kind of exciting. And then when I finally got, found and got the game, I was just like, yeah, this is not good. The only interesting things about it was, like, some of the presentation of, like, you know, going to all these different worlds in time and such, and, oh no, I lost it. The fact that the animation was made by Jim Henson's Creature Workshop, or whatever it was. It would advertise that like on the back of the game. That's the only thing I've kind of liked about it, is just the fact that Jim Henson's Creature Shop was somehow behind it. I don't know if it was like they were part of the animation, like for the cutscenes, or if it was the character designs, or what it was. I'd have to do more research on that, but that is definitely a game that the nerd needs to look at because of how broken and bad the game is. Because let's be honest, tank controls in any 3D game is not good. Cause I recently got Evil Dead: Hail of the King on the original PlayStation, and that has pretty bad tank controls, but that has a fixed camera too. So that's like just as bad. It's like, do you want tank controls where basically the camera follows you each time, or do you want to take controls with, you know, fixed camera position? It's like, you know, pick your poison. You know, Evil Dead: Hail to the King at least has some appeal because, you know, it's from a cult horror series of movies. And I like the Evil Dead franchise. But I just feel like there's just like one of those things where they were trying to figure out how to do 3D gaming back in the day and all that stuff. At that time, this is how they were able to do it and such. You know what I mean? So there's that. But yeah, I would like to actually play those games at some point in the future. I would like to play Hail the King on PlayStation, Fistful of Boomstick, and Regeneration on Xbox. Currently, I am actually playing Evil Dead Regeneration, and it seems to be pretty fun. There were like every few times where I tried playing Fistful of Boomstick on my Xbox, but if I'm being completely honest, there was literally in the first level I was lost. Still am currently lost because I couldn't quite figure out where I needed to go and what I was supposed to do, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm still sort of in the middle of playing that game because I can't figure out where I need to go in that particular one. Because it's like I know it's like a dead. Oh, I thought I was supposed to go down there. But yeah, it's like I don't know. Fistful of Boomstick seems to be okay, and I do like of how like Bruce Campbell was able to like do so much video game voice work for video games, because like he did like some narration stuff for like the first 2 Spider-Man video games that came out. That was really cool. Like it only seems fitting, you know. And it still shocks me of how even Tobey Maguire got to be Spider-Man in his own game too. I think William Dafoe was part of it too. But I can't remember, actually. I think that he is, or was, part of it in some way. So, yeah. There's that. Whoop. Oh. What does that say? 1T, or is it just 1? Or like 1 ton? Is that what it means? I have no idea. Sorry, microphone. Just trying to adjust something. All these barrels that he jumps out of. Oh, why are there volcanoes? I don't think that there should be volcanoes. I can definitely say that, like, this game also has like some of the weirdest variety of enemies in this game I've ever seen. Like, they're not even like Looney Tunes related stuff. Like a exploding clock, I can accept that. But what is that on the left? What is that? Is it like some sort of floating animal, or is it, like, what in the world is that supposed to be? The manual probably explains what it is, but that looks nothing like a Looney Tunes character. And these boxes with the letter S, what's that about? And a red frog? Like, couldn't they like have a variety of like random Looney Tunes characters that they could have used or something like that? But no. Let's be honest, Kemco, or whoever, you know, published this or released this game, you know, they made some pretty stinker games, like, because they released that Superman game and all that. Yeah, not a fun game. I can definitely say that. So, yeah. That's the only other flaw about this game, is that blocks. Ah! Okay. That was weird. Oh, here's on with FUD. Ah! You squilly wascally wabbit. Ah, come on. No. Ah, get off. There we go. Did I have like 1 heart? Did I have 1 heart left? I don't know. Alright. Yeah. Because I need so many lives as opposed to all the other lives that I already have. Oh. It just feels so disappointing when you don't even get a life. It's just in it, you know. Whoop. Ah. And what are these these swirly ball things? Like, what is that? What is that from? Nah, who knows? Who cares? Yeah, the one. Does that mean 1 ton or one? I honestly have no idea. If I had the manual for it, it would probably explain what that means and all that stuff. You know? Oh, jeez. I forgot that was like lava and I'm supposed to avoid it. It's like, yeah, if you touch that, you die. See, if you touch the corpse, you die. I need to. There we go. That was what I wanted. Why are there like meteors coming out of the ground? What kind of sense is that? What kind of sense does that make? The frog? No, the frogs do. Yeah. I don't know. Oh no no! I thought I hit the jump button, but it didn't want. It didn't register. So the funny thing is that like anytime that I'm like in full concentration mode is when I'm quiet. You know what I mean? Because I bet a lot of people stay quiet when they're like in full concentration mode. Not the only one who does that. It's very understandable. Even though this is really a game that does not exactly require too much of concentrating. It's still a game, you know, most of the time, you gotta concentrate and pay attention to what you're doing, because it's like, oh, this is about to happen, and you're not paying attention, you know? Alright. Ah. Red frogs. Get out of here! Oh, I probably need to jump. And again, what is with the meteorites, or whatever they are? Oh, I need to jump back up over there. Dang it. Hope that. Here we go. That was a little bit tricky to try and pull off. Dang it. Away from, get out of here, you red frog! Jeez. It has to be like a poisonous frog of some kind or something. I don't know. You know, was there ever a Looney Tunes frog character? Was there ever really? I don't... Oh, well, duh. Michigan J Frog, duh. Of course, you know. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Yeah. Why couldn't they use him? Has he ever made a video game appearance? I want to say maybe he has, but I don't... I can't really think of anything that he's ever really... Any games that he's ever really been in. Maybe he's been a token, or maybe he made a cameo on something. I don't know. As far as I know, he doesn't even talk. He just sings. He just sings the same songs that he sings all the time. Like 3 or 5 different songs. So, there's that. Oh. Well, that's your sign to get a new controller, buddy. Get yourself a new one. That's what I do. Because like I had an old GameCube controller where, and it was a Mad Catz controller of all things, but I had an old GameCube controller where the R button or the R trigger, whatever you want to call it, didn't exactly properly work. So it's like the way I'm trying to remember how it worked, because like. It didn't work, but it sort of worked. The only way I can explain that is like, you know, anytime you press R, you know, it probably wouldn't work for how you wanted it to, just because, like, you know, if you were doing something like, if you were, say, to like scroll through a screen, and you needed the R button, to go through that or something like that, or even like with a camera, it would the controller would literally just like act like, you know, you're still holding the R button. So it's like, that's basically... So that was one of the reasons why I got rid of it. got a new controller. Well, I had 2 controllers, but regardless of that, I still got a new one. Just because, like, kind of need a new one. One with a different color that blended the same color with my my regular GameCube, you know. And even got myself a Game Boy player for my GameCube too, so I'm happy about that. You know? Ah, frogs. You know, that reminds me too. You know, since I'm playing a video game about a rabbit, a bunny, is that you know, for the good, you know, good like 5 months or so, there's been a rabbit that's kind of been stalking me in my backyard. That's just been really taunting or annoying me. He just shows up out of the blue, out of nowhere, and you know, he just shows up in the backyard. And you know, anytime I see him, I try to get the dog out there, just kind of tease him a little bit, just be like, "Get him" or something like that. But he never does really, or she never does. And you know, most of the time doesn't even acknowledge that he's there. You know? But there have been a couple times where he's been really cocky too, because like, you know, I shoo him away, and then like 15, 30 minutes later, he gets closer to our door. He's like near the steps, and you know, I do the same thing. I shoo him away. He's like, "Get out of here!" And then all of a sudden, like 15 minutes later, he's literally like near the door, like literally like near the door on the steps, and it's just like, "You cocky little piece of..." Like, I cannot imagine how a bunny could be that, like that, have that much of a death wish of like, "Oh man, I'm gonna tease this human, tee-hee-hee," and all that. But I swear to you, like, we did that. Like, I took a picture of it and everything, and it just amazes me of how, you know, you think that a rabbit would be smart not to go there, you know, it's like, "Oh man, I'm being chased so many times, and there's a dog that lives there." And, you know, you'd think that would be the smart decision to not go there so many times, but he still goes there. I'm pretty sure that he built a nest around our backyard. I want to say there's like probably a small enough hole for him to fit in there. And that's probably why he's there every so often. I've seen 2 there. I've seen 2 around that area, 2 different bunnies. And sometimes they're even in the front yard, too. But yeah. It's just been that one particular rabbit that's been stalking me. So, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if I should fear for my life or what. There's even been a couple squirrels in the backyard. Kind of, I don't know if you'd say talking with the bunny, but, you know, they've been negotiating a plan, probably for my demise or something like that. I have no idea. I just wish I could have the patience to, you know, find a way to feed Rabbit, just to kind of make friends with him, just to be like, "Here you go, Mr. Rabbit, have a thing of lettuce," or something like that. I don't know. I'm working in a coal mine, going down, working in a coal. Oh, okay. Well, what a real pain. Might be a robot. I don't think it is. The way that it runs, you know, runs away from me, I'm pretty sure it's not a robot. I don't think robots are that advanced to run away like a rabbit does, if I'm being completely honest. Just coming out of... No! Okay. Let's try this again, and maybe we'll actually not die this time. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to the end of this game. I mean, completely honest. Because, like, anytime when I get close to the end of the game, like the very last stages, it would go on for, like, so long. And it's like, you know, each time you died, it was like, "Oh, you had to cross this bridge," or something. Alright. Get rid of these frogs, or toads, or whatever they want to call them. That reminds me, too. when I was a kid, there was whenever we would go outside, outside from school for recess, there would always be a bunch of toads. There would be all over the place. Like, there were so many. Neuralink bunny, yeah. There were like so many toads. Out there, people would always, kids, us dumb kids would always pick them up or look at them like, whoa, look, a frog or a toad and all that stuff. It's a toad because it has lungs, it has warts, whatever you call it. But anyway, we would always like pick up the toads, and idiot kids would like throw them, which was mean, of course. And most of the time they would pee on our hands because it's their own defense mechanism type of thing. And that's all the toads really do. But I was just like, why are they hanging out around here? I don't think that there was a lake or a pond or something near it. It probably was, but it definitely wasn't from where we could see it. There were cows because there was like a field near our school, and like you go past the trees and there was cows and such, and that was pretty much it. So yeah. I'm trying to think if there were any. Oh, okay, yeah. See, this is the stage I'm thinking of. Or no, I think I'm probably thinking of the other stage where it has like a bridge. Sometimes. Maybe it is the stage. Maybe it is the other stage. Oh, I hate that. Oh, why did it have to go dark? Oh, man, I hate that so much. The fact that it goes dark like that. Why? Music sounds really odd too. Like, this doesn't even sound like Looney Tunes type of music, does it? Pretty sure it doesn't. Anyway, see, right now I'm just trying to think of like what other games I could do for live streams. Again, like I said, I don't do live streams very often. I just do it whenever I feel like it would be fun to do, or just something to kill time for the day. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to think of what else could I possibly live stream. I just wanted to do these live streams in particular just to celebrate Coyote vs. Acme with the trailer. But I feel like it'd be one of those things where, like, maybe I would only do certain live streams of a particular theme. Like if a certain movie came out, or that was linked around that game or something like that, or even if a new game came out, or something like that were to happen, that's probably where I would do a live stream for that. Or like even tomorrow, the Star Wars Day, May the 4th, I would probably do like a Star Wars game. I probably could, but I do work that day, and I even got to get up early in the morning. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do a live stream tomorrow, even though that would be kind of fun to do. I don't even know what I would play. I could probably play a couple different Star Wars games that I have that I haven't really played too much of that I could do, I suppose. But I would do something like Star Wars, like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. That'd be pretty fun to do. Or even Star Wars Famicom game. That'd be kind of fun. But like I said, if I ever plan to do any more like live streams in the future, or any type of different videos for that matter, I bought myself a new microphone, so it'll come later this week, which is great. So I'm looking forward to that. And I need to get a new webcam. I'm actually kind of surprised that this old crappy webcam, despite the quality not looking the best, I feel like I need to get a new webcam that's like in more 4K quality and has like a ring light around it, and I even need like a second monitor, or even like a miniature monitor to do all that type of stuff. But now that I finally, because like I want to do like live streams aside from doing it from my PlayStation 4, having that only capability of doing live stream that way for the longest time. But I didn't have the ability to do that because I didn't know how to capture game footage at that time. But thankfully, like half a year ago or something like that, I discovered a game capture card that captures fairly well that I got from Walmart, and it does a tremendous job really for what it does. It does an absolutely great job for capturing game footage, both for just recording and even live streams. It works out so good. But it's like, well, now with that, I can finally do the game reviews that I've wanted to do ever since I was in high school for years. Because literally, like, the first video that I uploaded was my Sega Genesis review of The Tick, which was a childhood game of mine. And of course, since I didn't have access to, being able to capture my own game footage, all I could do was literally download MP4 videos of other people's game footage and just use those. Because, again, like I said, I did not have access to figuring out how to record my own game footage despite me wanting to. And, you always get that type of excuse that, my dad would always say, well, why don't you just record it off your TV screen? Nobody likes to do that. Let's be honest. Because when you record something on your screen with like your phone or camera or anything like that, it's terrible. The quality looks absolutely bad. And you have to angle it just right and all that stuff. I didn't have access to a tripod back in the day and all that stuff. I knew nothing about any of this stuff. But the fact that I finally know some things now more than I did before is good. Again, it's one of those things where I wish it happened earlier, but that's okay. I mean, better late than never, right? Because, I mean, I remember, my one of my teachers from high school, she seemed to like the review. And she really wanted me to do Legend of Zelda ones. Who's that, Casper? Really wanted me to review, like, the Legend of Zelda games. And it's like, well, I can't remember if this was the exact thing I commented, but I remember commenting something to the effect of, like, well, I wish I could, but I don't have the exact, I don't have the method to capture game footage or anything like that, but I would like to. Something around those things. I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly what I said, but, now that I have the ability to do that, I was able to, with OBS, it's able to, screen record your own, what's on the desktop, what's on your screen, so I was able to record footage from, like, Flash games and all that stuff. And for a little while, the first thing I was able to do was, like, a little, what was called TOT MC, which was, like, a video capture type of device that was able to help you record, like, AV, whether it was, like, DVD and VHS. And my dad and I, used that a lot to record stuff on VHSs and put it on DVDs, just for his enjoyment, really, for his amusement. And, for the longest time, I was, it was not that good of a capture device, if I'm being completely honest. Mainly just because of the fact that, like, it lagged a lot when it was recording VHS footage or any footage for that matter. Just, like, had, like, this little heartbeat of a skip that would lag and not really look that great. And I did that for me reviewing the DVD games, and, like, the majority of that footage was from that. I think there were a couple times where I was able to use OBS to screen record it just so I could show an example of the mouse cursor moving, where you could also play the games via a computer mouse, which is mainly what some of those games were more meant for, as opposed to a DVD remote. So I used that, but now that I have access to this, to a device that actually captures that way smoother, and even HDMI, it's able to do it that way. It's so much better, way more beneficial for me for any type of footage that I may need to record, whether it's on, like, Blu-ray or PlayStation 4 or anything like that. It's just so much better for me now that I have access to it. But again, if I discovered this as a kid, oh my gosh, I would have made so many videos back in the day if I had access to this. But basically, like, my Tick Sega Genesis review was, like, my first, I don't know what you would call, like, a tribute almost to Angry Video Game Nerd, or to any people who reviewed video games. And then basically my whole inspiration kind of blew up when I was in college watching Scott the Woz. The main reason why I went to college was because of not just EVGN, but because of his board games videos. That was about it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment, something like that. But yeah. All right. Well, I think I've conjured up enough time for both of these games that I wanted to, because if I'm being completely honest, I got other stuff I need to do today, because, like, I'm planning on working on another video, and now that it's getting closer to summertime, the lawn is starting to grow, which means the grass is getting longer, and so I need to start mowing the lawn, and got a couple other things I need to do around the house, and it's around, it's after 12 for me, so I got to find myself maybe something to eat. But I still had quite a good enjoyment of doing this live stream chat. Even if there wasn't that many people on here, I still appreciate to anyone that watches these videos or even comments in the chat. So I appreciate that very much. So thanks a lot for watching, anyone or everyone. So that's about it. But if you have any other requests, you can follow my Twitter. It's in my channel link. You'll be able to play it. Yeah, party on, party on, Wayne. And but if like you have any requests for like something I should probably live stream, I'll see if I can get around to it. It depends on what I have, of course. I have like a huge majority of different NES games, quite a lot of different PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 4 games, a lot of Xbox games, both original and 360. And I could probably emulate stuff if I wanted to. I do have that ability to do that. I have like a sort of a modded Wii that's able to, I have like a huge library of different games on that thing, especially with like GameCube games and all that. So I could definitely do that. I originally planned to do that with like a Twitch, because I made myself a Twitch account, but I don't know. I feel like for me at the moment, it's like a lot easier to figure out to do it like a YouTube live stream. So there was all that, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah. So might as well do that, and just end the stream here. But again, thanks to anyone watching, and hopefully I can do another live stream someday in the future. But now I just gotta work on a video, work on some other stuff, and because I have a life outside of this. But anyway, thanks again for watching.